Good afternoon and welcome to Magic Park for one of the biggest games of the season in northern New South Wales football, the promotion relegation playoff final between Valentine FC and West Wallsend. For Valentine, this is about survival. Under coach Cass Wright, they've battled through a tough year, finishing 11th on the NPL ladder, but showing plenty of fight when it mattered most, scraping past Singleton 2-0 on aggregate to keep their dreams alive. On the other side, it's about redemption for West Wallsend. The Bluebells have not played top-flight football since 2012, 13 long years in Northern League One, and now finally the chance to climb back to where they believe they belong. It's a beautiful afternoon here at Magic Park, 18 degrees, a bit of a breeze blowing from the west, and the scene is set for do-or-die football. I'm Chris McPherson, and bringing you the action alongside me today is Lambton Jaffers defender Matt Butner. Matt, there's so much on the line today. One team will stay up, one team will drop down. This is do-or-die football. I'm certainly excited and ready for it to roll. Yeah, for sure, Chris. This is going to be an absolute ripper of a game. And you said it best, the conditions are here. It's sudden death football today. And look, how exciting for West Wallsend to be in this position. After 13 years away from the top flight in the Northern New South Wales competition, they have a golden opportunity today to take down Valentine and secure their spot for next season. But Valentine, well, they had a good start to the year in the NPL. They had a shaky finish though. And I have no doubt that they're going to put all their guns into this game today to make sure that they stay up for this one. Certainly an exciting one. Both teams set, ready to go. As you said, West Wallsend, they know heartbreak. They were knocked out in the semi-finals of the promotion relegation by Adamstown last year. As we see our referees on screen, Charlie O'Brien running the show today with the whistle. Sam Stewart and Flynn Cope will be the assistant referees. Mitchell Lyons, the fourth official. We are poised for a big game, a momentous occasion. History in the making. All live and free here on Northern New South Wales Football's YouTube channel today. And where else would you rather be? Tuned in at home, watching this play out over the next 90 minutes, or maybe a little bit more, Matt. Potentially. You see the two sides now switch sides, so it will be West Wallsend going from right to left of your screen in their blue kit with the white shorts. Valentine, resplendent in orange from the left to right. And assistant referees will perform some checks on the nets. And then we'll be set for kickoff here in the promotion relegation playoff. A spot in the NPL for 2026 on the line. Moments away from kickoff now, Chris, and I just wanted to ask you, mate, who do you think's going to come out on top first? Well, it's an interesting one. You'd think the experience of playing at that top tier in the NPL should bode well for Valentine, but West Wallsend have got the form. We know Valentine, they battled through the semi-finals. West Wallsend came out 4-2 winners in the first leg of their semi-final. They finished the season with a flurry, 4 wins from their last 6 games. Valentine strung together losses to finish their regular season to find themselves in this spot. So it's going to be interesting whether the experience at higher skill level brings them to the fore, or whether it is the experience, or the momentum, of winning. So we'll wait and see. We're underway though. And West Wallsend straight away with a throw. The ball came off the arm there, but opportunity. I'm sure, as you can see on the screen as well, plenty of fans in blue on the other side for West Wallsend today. They're going to be loud for their team, trying to push them on. It's crucial that they come out strong. It's going to be a physical battle, I assume, over these next 10 minutes or so. Valentine just need to step up and make sure that they can weather the storm a little bit. West Wallsend coming out, all guns blazing early here. Hiro Okita clears that away, the Japanese import. One of a handful of imports for Valentine in their NPL squad. Now the Bluebells look to go wide through Greentree. Lofts a shot long. Interesting undertone here in that there's 4 or 5 of these West Wallsend players, Buttes, who have previously plied their trade at Valentine. So very familiar with the opposition, very familiar with the club. I don't know whether that adds a little bit more spice to the encounter for them, a little bit more desire. I'm sure that the offer of the carrot of a 2026 NPL berth is more than enough. Yeah, of course, I'd have to agree. And whether that plays a role or not, I think they're both going to be up for it today. And yeah, it's just interesting to see how it's going to be played on grass. I've been told that West Wallsend are quite well played on the artificial field. And they've had a decent run in towards the end of their season.
whereas Valentine was struggling for results. So whether they take that form in as well, they come to Magic Park here, which we know the field's wide. We know the field's actually looking quite good today as well, considering the weather we've had over the last couple of weeks and months. So can they utilise that width? Can they break down a Valentine?
Certainly going to be interesting to see who can make the most of that space, as you say, and it could be an interesting opening exchange as we see Cox on the ball there. That's Bryson Cox. Of course, Bryson and Caleb, the two brothers there, and then their brother as well involved in the third brother involved in the coaching at West Wallsend. So it's a real family affair out at the Bluebells.
That man on the ball there, Scotty Pettit. He's been around the league for years now. He's going to be the experience that Valentine are going to rely on today.
Certainly will. I think it'll be himself and Cale Graham that'll be the leading charges in that regard. As a sliding effort there, sees the ball out over the sideline, and attacking throw deep down in that attacking third for West Wallsend. So it'll be Carroll will take the throw. Just working around the edge of the 18-yard box. Valentine breakaway here. Just trying to find space. A prodded ball out in front. Hopeful more than design. Now West Wallsend, nice work freeing up Greentree again. His pass a little errant. The ball finds its way under the roof of the main stand here at Magic Park.
Early test for Bailey Jensen there for West Wallsend. I think he's going to be up for a big challenge today. I know they're going to try and isolate him and the centre-backs for West Wallsend, trying to get in early behind. He's stuck to the first test today, but I have no doubt that he's going to be tested more.
Yeah, the Valentine side likes to try and utilise those balls in behind, especially for the likes of Wilmot and Ross. He's got Pettit as well with pace. There's Jensen giving away a foul there just after you've given him a rap butte. So the commentator's curse coming in.
Well, yeah, there's no doubt he's going to have a big challenge today, and it's going to be a handful for him to, try and cover Cooper Wilmot. We know his threat.
Certainly do. You spoke about Scott Pettit before. It's now his brother Dean on the ball. Another player who's got plenty of NPL experience at a few different clubs in recent years. Dangerous opportunity for him here to try and float this up into that wind. And drifts across, and the wind got hold of it more than they might have liked, and his brother couldn't retain it, and we'll have a handball call.
Scotty not super happy with that delivery, but you just mentioned the wind, and it is coming in gusts at the moment. It's going to be difficult for Valentine to kick into that wind today. As we just saw, it's just starting to drift out. Definitely holds up. It's going to play probably a more positive result for West Wallsend, I think, playing with the wind at the moment. We'll see how it eventuates as the game rolls on.
It's great to have that wind early, but obviously it's about, capitalising on it as we see Blake Redmond, another experienced player here in this West Wallsend side. He spent some time in a couple of different NPL systems. He was with the Stags when they were up in the NPL in the mid-2010s. Also came through the ranks at Edgeworth. Certainly not lacking in experience when you have a look across the paddock here on the Bluebells. As Volkeen drives this long and flat out wide. Pettit's there again. I feel we'll see a lot of action on that side of the pitch just due to the way that wind's tracking Buttes. The flag says they Wilmot looked a clear step offside there.
Yeah, positive from Valentine, but one thing I noticed immediately was the number of Blues getting behind the ball there, which is a positive sign for West Wallsend. I know they have to be disciplined today defensively. They know Valentine's been at this level for some time now, so I have no doubt they want to try and keep a clean sheet for this game.
Redmond with the long clearance now, drives it almost over the defensive line. A little tap on in the end from Fitchett, and we'll have a throw West Wallsend's way again in that attacking third. Now look at the potential of the long throw. Decided to just go along the line. Well, work back inside of the edge of the 18-yard box. Looking for Carroll, but it's headed away there. And it'll be a corner, our first corner of the game, Matt.
Yeah, well, here we go. It's I feel like the set pieces today are going to be quite crucial for both sides. We just saw one from a free kick position for Valentine, but as you said, first corner, West Wallsend, they definitely do have some tall timber.
Interesting to see what they choose to do here. Obviously kicking into the wind predominantly, so can they set it up and hold it up over that penalty spot? Greentree lofts it up, and that's what he tries to do, but just doesn't get enough on it. Slices it away, and it doesn't threaten any.
Yeah, not ideal, but again, the build-up play was positive down the right side for West Wallsend, and I mentioned before the game, expect the first 10 minutes for just both of these sides to feel each other out. You know, I think the individual battles today are going to play a crucial role, no doubt.
It's always cagey, these big games, just trying to feel each other, especially for these two sides. That normally when you get to this point of the season, Buttes, as we'll see in the NPL matches tomorrow, we've got the preliminary finals, the men's and the women's. They're sides that have seen each other during the year. These two would not have played against each other in any format of football in recent time. I mean, the only time you'd see it is if they come up against each other in something like the Australia Cup. They haven't done that. So for these two sides, it's, you know, you're kind of discovering how these sides play. Obviously, you've got the benefit now of recently streamed games and all these sorts of things, but you can't really judge it till you're up against it.
Yeah, of course, and no doubt I think both clubs would have done their video sessions and their research going into this game, but exactly right, they haven't played against each other, so just expect them to feel it out, I guess. And
key to doing the work there defensively. Now Pettit tried to get away with the sneaky steal and the throw there, but realised very quickly he wasn't going to fool the assistant referee. Now we've got Caleb Cox working on the ball. Turns it over though. Opportunity quickly to go on the attack. Ball out in front of Dean Pettit, but well broken up there by the captain, Bryson Cox. What a story Bryson Cox is when you have a look at it, Buttes. He has been part of this club for such a period now. His 11th season, closing in on 200 games, and essentially been there the whole time that they haven't been in the NPL, so it'll be a wonderful moment for him, his brother, who's out there playing in the midfield, and his other brother who's on the coaching staff, if they could be part of leading this side through into the NPL for next year. It'll be some story for the family.
Oh, for sure, and it already is a brilliant story, and all the best to him. Anyone who's edging close to 200 games in any code is impressive, and I've talked to you a lot of times this season in the NPL about longevity and how impressive that is, and, you know, loyalty as well. Things are just starting to heat up a little bit here now.
Very quickly in there to talk to James Lowe. He was absolutely just picked apart by Yamakami, one of the Japanese imports. Yamakami knows he's got the better of him there and just passing on some feedback on the way through, but Lowe had no answer for him and so had to take him to ground.
Yeah, little push and shove there as well as they're walking away. You just feel the heat in this game. It's starting to rise a little bit, and you know, Pettit's got another opportunity now in a good position to put a ball in for Valentine.
See if he learned from the first, not that too dissimilar of a position, so it will be Dean Pettit now to float it in, looking for Scott Pettit or Hiro Akita. Leaves it short, everyone overruns it, play on, says the referee. There's appeals for a handball in the box. West Wallsend just drive it into that large throng of West Wallsend faithful on the Eastern Hill here at Magic Park, and I'll tell you what, it's a great atmosphere in here for this game today, Buttes. Obviously the sun's shining, a bit of wind about, but this is finals football sort of vibes and feels, and the fans have come out in numbers. You can see the West Wallsend fans over there. We've got a good cluster of Valentine fans down behind the southern goal as well. It's really great scenes. Yeah,
the atmosphere is exceptional today, Chris, and again, if you're not here, if you're watching this wherever you are, I'm sure the visuals are amazing, but the absolute environment right now and the atmosphere is brilliant. So plenty of fans out from either side, and also we've got some Kahaiba fans as well, seeing who they might be playing up against next year.
Of course, Kahaiba, yeah, going into the NPL. They played in the reserve grade grand final earlier. It wasn't their day, though. They went down 1-0 to Lake Macquarie City. As we see, it's all about argy-bargy just over there. One of the West Wallsend players ended up prone against the fence. Valentine now trying to work with the ball. Bounces favourably for Greentree. Now prodded on in front of Greentree. It's going to be a foot race. Just trying to identify. Looks like we've had a jersey change for one of the Valentine players. So that's get a bit of clarification on who that is in 27.
Yeah, Greentree just getting away with one here, winning his 50-50s. And I tell you what, again, I talked about the width on this pitch. If he can open up the legs and get some space ahead of him, I'd like to see the fullback make some positive runs for West Wallsend. It's definitely an area they can exploit Valentine.
Valentine now with the opportunity for a throw. They go long. Looking for Pettit, nice little tap on, aimed for Ross. Now Greentree just trying to out-muscle Pettit, and they do well. West Wallsend low on the ball now. Feeds it through. Cox not quite as controlled as he might have liked, but they loft the ball forward. Nikita does well to break it up, and they work forward, and awkward ball there for Redmond. And he did well to turn back and protect it.
Yeah, comfortable from Redmond, and again, a little bit disjointed the football at the moment. You know, in terms of football terms, we always talk about winning that second ball, making sure you're winning your battles. And I think that's going to be crucial today. Wherever the ball lands, what team gets to it first, and who can actually get that thing down on the ground and start playing their brand of football. I like to see both clubs playing out from the back at the moment. It just shows the intention and what they're trying to do with it. Valentine just happy to sit back at the moment, not press. Just see what West Wallsend have to throw at him.
Yeah, Graham working forward. Plays the ball out in front of Wilmot. Unfortunately, for Pettit there, he just wasn't looking when the ball got played the other side of him. It all amounts to nil when West Wallsend go forward, and we'll have a goal kick for the Bluebells. Sorry, for the Phoenix, I should say. Valentine happy to take his time. It's been a real up and down season for Valentine too. A change of head coach mid-season, a number of mid-season departures as well. We look at Yamakami, who was one of their big off-season signings. They were without him for more than half the season, as his international FIFA clearance out of his club in Mongolia was held up for a really prolonged period of time.
Yeah, there's definitely plenty of adversity that they've faced this year on and off the field, and he just mentioned one of their big signings just couldn't get clearance for 18 weeks or so, as you mentioned pre-game. But yeah, look, the results have been scattered. They've been few and far. They did have a good start to the season, Valentine, and things did go downhill pretty quickly, but they do have a great opportunity now. Pettit feeding through. Well defended there from West Wallsend. Pettit on the ball again. It's going to hold up in the wind at the moment.
All dealt with in the end by Greentree. He's been solid early. Conway working. They're pressing hard here, trying to put the pressure on. Bit of a collision there. Referee's going to play advantage. And then Scott Pettit takes it out of everyone's hands and just gives someone a nudge over. We'll come back for the original foul on Conway. Good advantage there by the referee.
Can't help but notice just every time a Valentine or West Wallsend player comes up to each other, it's a little shove, a little knock, shoulder to shoulder. Anything to just get a little edge in this game on your opponent.
Yeah, well, as I said over there before on the eastern sideline, as there was a bit of a throw in, one of the players sort of just bumped into one of the others and he gave him a nudge back, and I think it was a bit of theatrics, but he sort of tossed himself into the fence on the far side. And there's no love lost, that's for sure.
No, not at all.
I guess for these sides too, not only have they not played each other this year, they won't play each other next year either. So it's all on the line over 90 minutes. You've got no real concerns about what is to come, because all your thoughts are on how do you ensure that your team is the one who plays NPL football, not Northern League 1 football next year. Valentine will be trying to take inspiration from Adamstown, who had to absolutely grind their way through last year. Extra time, penalties, all these sorts of things. And West Wallsend will be looking to break that more than a decade drought and return to the top tier of Northern New South Wales football, alongside Kahaiba, who were automatically promoted for finishing top of the table. There's a nice ball chested down in front of Wilmot. Played forward looking for Yamakami. And just shepherded off there nicely in the end by Jensen. Good composure. Still feels as we head towards the 20-minute mark that these teams are still just trying to find their rhythm, both against each other and the conditions. The wind would be trying with any lofted balls. The pitch surface does look wonderful, but there's definitely some uneven continuation on it. So we see Fitchett lob that ball forward.
Valentine just happy to have a spell of possession at the moment.
Both sides looking quite good when they are moving the ball around, although Valentine just pressed and pressured a little there. Big challenge there. Referee's going to come and get involved.
Still got a Valentine player down at the moment, just getting some treatment. Cooper's down at the moment. Cooper Verstagen, that's right, for Valentine. But both teams are just going to have a little break at the moment. Get some reassurance from both of their coaching staff. Maybe a drink break as well. As we take a break. We've got the stretcher out at the moment, which is not good signs at all for Cooper.
They've wasted no time on it, so it'll be interesting to see. They've got, he's quite distraught. Is maybe a break in the ankle? Oh, leg. The trainer really cautious with it. They wasted no time, as we said, with the stretcher. So this looks like it'll be the end of Cooper Verstegen's day, which is going to force an early change for Valentine. He's been an integral part of their defence across the NPL season this year so far, and it's a heartbreaking way for someone's day to come to an end. It appeared a bit of a clumsy challenge, but unfortunately that's the way football occurs, Butts, isn't it? Sometimes it can be the most innocuous of things.
Yeah, of course. I mean, early signs don't look great. I just like to think that it's precautionary only at the moment, but we won't know for now. I wish him all the best. I've got him on the stretcher. All the New South Wales staff down there. Just inside the touchline on the western side of Magic Park. Any question about whether or not they will move him depending on the nature of the injury. Conversation here between the players, just trying to work out how they kind of stay focused is always the challenge when you have an extended break in these sorts of matches. Obviously, emotions, energy all at a high, and then you get this lull, Butts, and then it's, how do we then re-engage and move on, as we see Verstegen taken from the field and carried off to a rousing round of applause by both sets of fans here. It's wonderful to see. Yeah, very unfortunate for Cooper, unfortunately, and look, we just wish him all the best at the moment. Valentine are forced into an early substitution now. Zach McDougall will enter the fray. Again, just reiterating that, wishing Cooper Verstegen all the best. A really tough way for such a momentous game to come to an end for him. And McDougall will slot straight into that right back position. It's always interesting. We've talked about this a number of times. We've been calling games, Butts, and you have that forced early change. Not only does it force away from your starting 11, it means that your substitution strategy maybe for later in the game, especially if we do go deep, or go to extra time and things, just starts to change the mentality sometimes for coaches. So it's another thing to play to their mind, because that's what you need as a coach on a day like today. Yeah, of course. Well, I said it before, and you mentioned it as well, Valentine, they've been under all sorts of adversity this year, and that's just another one for such an important game today. So, again, wishing Cooper all the best. I hope it's nothing too sinister. And Zach McDougall, well, he's got an opportunity now at fullback for Valentine to make his stamp on this game. Certainly does. As you say, it's all about how you view it. Is it, force, or is it opportunity? And I'm sure Zach McDougall will be taking the chance to shine. Pretty much everyone on a squad sheet always believes they should be in the starting 11, so now's Zach's chance. So can he be the man that dictates some of this game a little later on? We'll wait and see. West Wallsend with the throw now. Just prodded forward, hopefully, by Clark, their leading scorer this season. Well, that's Zach's first assignment, just shepherding the ball out for a goal kick. And well, you mentioned it just before, we've just gone beyond the 20-minute mark, and We haven't had many, in fact, no big chances at all, Chris. It's only been a couple of set pieces, 1 or 2 corners, I believe, only the 1 corner. It's been a bit of a battle in the middle of the pitch. Both sides trying to go long at the moment. Bit difficult with the wind.
That's the piece, isn't it? On a surface like this that, again, presents really well probably to the camera, but is a little chopped up, as we see Lowe moving forward. Normally your option would be to try and, use aerial balls to try and, take out the uneven play and the uneven surface. But with the wind thrown in as well, it's a bit of a gamble either way you go about it. And we're seeing that with, the lack of cohesion from midfield into the forward third for both sides thus far as Wilmot tries to play it across. It's broken up though by Conway. Now West Wallsend move forward. Greentree, he's been one of the busiest on the field so far. Prods it infield, picked off again by Valentine. Pettit taps it on, looking for the pace of Wilmot, but well done there. It wasn't exactly conventional from Bailey Jensen, but it worked well nonetheless.
Yeah, again, good battle there, and Jensen sticking to his guns. Now Zach McDougall again, opportunity.
It's a throw looking for Wilmot. Unfortunately, it takes a little off break. Goes across the sideline for throw it. Lofted header. McDougall and Jensen go up for it. And it'll be Valentine's throw. These teams know that opportunity may not knock often in this match, so they need to be ready to go when it does. And here's a chance, pushing forward.
Positive work there from Luke Willard. Just got undone as he tries to link up with his number 9 up front. He's actually going down at the moment. Will bring the game to a halt. Josh Carroll it is, who's down at the moment. Assistance required, but yeah, look, no one's really taken charge of territory at the moment, Chris. I think the game's been quite back and forth at the moment, and I know one thing that's very important in these games as well, the close games, is a moment of lapse in concentration. We talk about a moment of brilliance and individual talent, but it also goes the other way. A lapse in concentration, a poor error could be the difference in a game like this. So it does look like Josh Carroll is just going to make his way to the sideline at the moment. No one getting ready on the bench, or potentially, but we'll see if he makes his way back on the field.
Hopefully it's just one of those cases of once you've had some treatment, you do need to go to the sideline, but he's actually down on the ground getting some treatment, so we'll keep an eye on that.
We'll see if he gets the magic spray out.
Magic water solves a lot of things. There's only a few things that are beyond it. Find it. Football half the time, it's somewhere between magic water or a stretcher, and there's not much in between. Ball played out now. Touched on it before, Buse. Both teams happy to play it out from their back line, but trying to find that connection through to the midfield and then forward. That's a nice ball. Headed on the turn. McDougall's making a run. Called for it early, and he got perfect delivery. Now he's going to work up against Greentree. Skips to the byline side. Gets a little touch off Lowe, does it? I think Zach McDougall might feel a little aggrieved there, but if Lowe did get a touch, it would have been the finest of margins. The assistant referee right on the spot. They've awarded a goal kick.
The Valentine fans not too happy with that call from the referee, but regardless, positive work. It was a great ball out from Dean Pettit. How about the technique on that one? And then he found the substitute in Zach McDougall, and I think that battle, as it eventuates later in this game, Greentree and Dougal, both positive fullbacks trying to get on for their side. It's probably a little bit unfortunate they didn't get a corner out of that one, but positive signs for Valentine regardless.
It certainly is positive, and as you said, a good sign from McDougall early. Like, you're sitting on the bench and all of a sudden you click of the fingers, you're called into action. You're certainly not expecting to be called in the 20th minute. Showing intent early, which is what you want to see in these big games. Easy to sort of sit in your shell and wait for the other team to make a mistake versus trying to force the mistake from them or take the opportunity. And he's shown the right signs early here. Now Akita, he's got a little bit of space in front of him, and the import will take it on. Now threads the ball nicely through the midfield to Yamakami. It finds Pettit out wide. That's some better ball movement. There's some aggressive and acrobatic work on the right there of defence for West Wallsend. Licata, he was the man, of course, that delivered the winning penalty 2 years ago when they won the Northern League 1 Grand Final.
Yeah, that was positive from Valentine there. I know the play's been broken up now, but Akita just driving a little bit at centre back and then playing that ball through the middle, a reverse ball, which caught West Wallsend, out of their feet a little bit. And then ultimately finding Pettit. Again, we talked about his experience in this side, and they've definitely been trying to get as much service to him as possible in these opening exchanges. Both sides not really pressing at the moment as well when the keepers are playing out. They're happy to sit in their block, be disciplined.
I think it's interesting, something that Valentine looked their best when Akita's got the chance to go forward. He's got really good ball control, as we saw with that pinpoint pass before for a centre-back. He can pass short or long, and he's also an attacking threat if he gets a chance to run forward and link up with the midfield as well. So low now, that's a nice ball out for Greentree on the edge of the 18-yard box. Takes a strike over the crossbar. That's the first real chance we've seen. And Dane Greentree takes a strike, sails just across the crossbar, but Brodie Volkine's now been warned. West Wallsend coming.
Yeah, awesome stuff from Greentree there, just using that width as well, right to left from West Wallsend, and it's our first strike of the game, Chris. It wasn't too far off, but again, definitely a warning side for Valentine. West Wallsend are going to come, and they're going to keep coming.
Well, he's one of those players I talked about. He's been back at the club this year after having spent years previously at Jaffers and Valentine. So certainly knows the top tier of football and would love a return there, Greentree. Low, the danger man, drove forward there in the middle and just laid that ball off nicely for him to create the chance. Keita now. Won't give him as much space this time, and he has to go back to Volkine. Volkine just happy to work the ball at feet until something presents. Take his time here. The shot stopper from Phoenix. Now it's pushed forward, chipped on. Ball from Ross doesn't quite find a target, but Pettit ends up coming away with it after the deflection. Lays it back into the pocket of McDougall. He goes back further to Akita. Now Lowe will press to try and close things down, but that just frees up McDougall on the right here. Lofts the ball in. Decent delivery, but Jensen broke it up, and he gets forward and clears it long towards halfway. And it'll head across the sideline almost millimetres to the mark of halfway. Graham now. Just working it around with Perez.
Good defensive work from Cox there. He's playing that sitting defensive midfielder for West Wallsend, and he's been so solid this year for him as well. He's going to be an anchor for that middle and back line for West Wallsend. It's going to be tough to break down for Valentine. You can see him just probing, trying to find answers at the moment.
That's a really good word to describe how both sides are going about what they're doing. Very probing with some of those passes. It's not like they're full-blooded attacking raids. It's just trying to find out where the reactions will be, so that allows for those attacking raids later on. You kind of find where the chink in the armour might be as Akita gets aheaded to this. Now attempt to cross it into the box, but it was deflected, and Akita will clear it long. Both sides just happy to play it safe when it gets congested in their defensive third and clear it long towards the line. Now Cox, that's Caleb Cox, plays wide. Yeah, all the way back to Bryson Cox now. He goes back to Redmond. Trying to orchestrate space, maintain possession. West Wallsend. Cox and Redmond combine again. Redmond just meandering out of his box here. Experienced keeper. Jensen again, back to Bryson Cox. They're waiting for a reaction here from Valentine, and they're not getting one, so Cox presses and prods forward. Kyle Graham puts the pressure on and forces the turnover. Lofted forward by Perez. They're appealing for offside, and the flag does go up against Scott Pettit. And he reacts as only Scott Pettit can, in that way where he just looks somewhere between petulant and confused when he's called for offside. Once upon a time, Scott Pettit would have expected to be offside all the time when he was lightning in his youth. He hasn't lost any of his experience or his skill, but he's not as quick, and just had the jump then on that one, Scott Pettit. But West Wallsend goes straight back the other way trying to attack, and they force A throw. Do they? No, the ball stayed in. Wilmot's done well. Now he's taken down off the ball by Caleb Cox. Referee Charlie O'Brien's doing a great job of just keeping a lid on this at the moment.
Yeah,
as
definitely.
touched on before, there's plenty of niggle, nudge, and bump and barge.
Well, yeah, you'd have to expect it from a game like this and a fixture, and yeah, he's adjudicated it so well so far. No cards given. Pulled up when he needed to, and it looks like they're going to set up for a ball in the box now, Valentine.
Off that up just to hold it up into the breeze, get the bounce, awkward ball. Jensen doesn't clear it. Cale Graham takes a shot, and he's called for handball, and a handball it is. Now referee appoints the spot there. Bryson Cox immediately, the captain from West Wallsend, goes over and tries to debate the call. A little bit of advice, I've yet to see one be turned over.
Yeah, massive call, and there was a little bit of a delay there as well, Chris. It's got to be interesting if he got that call from his assistant or he made it just after re-evaluating, but that ball did loft in. It didn't look too dangerous, but that wind held up the second play, and it kind of just dropped down nicely for Cale Graham, who took a strike. And look, I didn't see it myself, but it looked like it had struck potentially the arm. Well, there's a replay now.
Does take the arm of Jensen.
Jensen, it is.
And what the referee will be saying there, Butts, is his left elbow was out, I think like a teapot handle, and that's why he's saying it's in an unnatural position, and because it's come off the arm and it's in an unnatural position, had it been by his side, it would have more than likely been a different story. The referee just had to take a moment, I think, just to compose himself and make sure he had it right, because he knows the impact of this decision. But I'm 100% with Charlie O'Brien there. He's got that right. Yeah,
brilliant refereeing. I've just seen that replay, and you're exactly right.
Scott Pettit steps up to the spot. Scott Pettit up against Blake Redmond. Valentine to try and take the advantage in his promotion relegation playoff. The experience of Pettit against the experience of Redmond. Goes low and left. Redmond gets stranded. And I tell you what, Redmond's got to be careful there. He's just driven that football towards that pack of celebrating Valentine players. And again, the referee still having an ongoing conversation, but for the time being, it is Valentine leading 1-0 here, deep in this first half.
Yeah, wow. Great finish there. Redmond left stranded. He didn't make a dive, and Scotty Pettit all smiles at the moment. He knows how important that one was, and it was a tidy finish.
Cool and calm as you like. The experience of Scott Pettit. There's a little bit of debate between Pettit, Fitchett, and Dean Pettit about who was going to take it, but the Valentine fans, look at them there, they love that goal. They are up and about. There's some interesting hairdos going on there, Butts.
Yeah, very interesting.
I'm not sure about that, but they are happy. They weren't happy earlier when the corner decision went against them, but they certainly are now. Their team has the advantage through the boot of Scott Pettit. And now, let's see what West Wallsend can drag back. 10 minutes till the break. Plenty of time. Plenty of football to be played, and you feel plenty more twists in the tail of this fixture. Cale Graham throws himself at that one to push it across the line. Luke Willard will come back and take the throw. Will he? No, he lays it off. It'll be Licata to take it. He's going to wind up. Thinks about the long throw, but he doesn't have really anyone in the box to throw it to. Spencer Clark presents to him, but Willard gets it. Now they loft it into the box. Experience of Cale Graham. Yamakami prods it forward. A couple of players get tangled. Wilmot drives it forward to his own advantage. Greentree racing across, does well. Blocks that down, and they manage to keep it in. That's great last line defence from the Bluebells.
Yeah, so crucial there, and now they go the other way.
Feeling like this could break out into some end-to-end football at the moment, the way it's going. Both teams a little frenetic after that first goal. Valentine wanting to seize the momentum. West Wallsend wanting to get one right back. Graham drives it along the line. Pettit fighting tooth and nail. West Wallsend take it away. A little tap on back heel from Carroll, but again, Cale Graham's the man on the spot. Greentree heads it forward. It's a little bit loose at the moment, this football from both sides. Throwing this time goes to Valentine. It's come off low last.
Well, yeah, it's going to make for an interesting last 9 minutes or so, plus additional time. That's definitely just brought a new life to this game now. It's going to be interesting how West Wallsend, there's no second leg in this game, so they need to send everything in this one. How many boys are they going to start pushing forward now? How many risks are they going to take? And does Valentine do the opposite? Do they shut up shop, or do they pounce on the fact that West Wallsend need to put numbers forward and try to make that a 2 or 3 goal advantage? It's going to be interesting, Chris.
It is. It's interesting when you look at how the two teams approach the two-legged semi-finals. You touched on that. West Wallsend went all out in the first leg, 4-2 against Toronto, and then just tightened the screws to get a 0-0 draw. Valentine, meanwhile, they went to Singleton and just held to a 0-0 draw before scoring twice at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility last week to get themselves through in what was the nominal home league. So West Wallsend, they'll need to find goals. They certainly can score them, as I said, 4 in that first leg. But so much time to come here. Keita drives it forward. Jensen looked a little awkward there. He got caught in the surface. Now it just trickles wide, and they'll have the throw now, West Wallsend. Carroll goes long with the throw. Pops up. Can it sit kindly? Conway thinks about striking for it. Move it around. Body's in motion, and Valentine sliding in. Greentree comes forward for it. Tries to thread the needle into the box. Akita meets it. Now Pettit up against the younger of the Cox. There's Dean Pettit now out wide, taking on defenders. He beats one, cuts around a second, almost bamboozled the referee. He gets through third. It's a little tug from the fourth. The referee says, you're not having advantage because you tried to take a strike, and then he gets pinballed around for his efforts, does Dean Pettit.
Yeah, tidy work there, eh? Just carrying the ball on his right foot. Originally receiving the ball from his brother and finishing in a shot on target. Didn't eventuate to anything, but Valentine full of confidence after that first goal.
Certainly are. Plenty of fans urging Scott Pettit on. He's got his own little personal fan crew here in the grandstand at Magic Park. Greentree goes down the line. Lowe tries a pirouette but can't control it, but the ball comes off McDougall, so it will be a throw-in for West Wallsend. Greentree immediately gets it moving. Akita comes forward. Low again. Akita with another header. Akita's been in a little bit of everything today. Now Yamakami, Perez. Perez goes forward on his own. A little solo ranging run. He's got Yamakami floating around the outside, but Campbell Ross, nice little touch back inside, takes a strike. Parried by Redmond. Scott Pettit's there. Oh, he's missed the connection. And then Redmond's laid out Wilmot. He is absolutely just taking a hit up, and now he's going to give him some feedback. He was within his rights, but I tell you what, that is a rugby league style hit up if you've seen it. Wilmot's holding his face. Pettit's, has he rolled an ankle as he's tried to strike that? I'm not sure where to focus here, Butts. It's all happening.
It is all happening. Let's have a look at the replay now as it unfolds, and slick move there. Shot on target, forcing the save, and Scotty Pettit, I think he may have just scuffed that shot. Rolled an ankle, I'm not sure. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but that second play, we just saw Wilmot go down as well. Redmond telling him exactly what he thought about it.
I think Redmond was within all his rights. He kept his line. If he had to change his direction to hit Wilmot, he would have been in a bit of strife. But as a goalkeeper coming out taking that ball, you can maintain your line. But Cooper Wilmot is in absolutely licorice all sorts down here in the goals. Getting some treatment, and well, hopefully he's okay, because another forced change for Valentine despite a 1-goal lead. I'll tell you what, Blake Redmond's getting some pointers, some feedback, some guidance from that throng of Valentine fans, and I think he's done the wise thing here, Redmond, just walking away a little.
Yeah, just cool yourself down a little bit.
Don't let the emotion get you the better of you. We saw a little bit of frustration boil over after the penalty. He's obviously someone who wears his heart on his sleeve a bit does the West Wallsend keeper.
Yeah, that's right. But just going back to that play there from Valentine, you had Ross just receiving that ball through the middle, and it's a nice little step over to put it back on his right foot. Absolutely brilliant work. It looked like it was going to be 2-0. And if you didn't believe that was going to be 2-0, Scotty Pettit had a great opportunity and just got it wrong. Looks like
the referee just having a chat with Blake Redmond now. I think all's good. I think he's just probably more remonstrating with him about how he was remonstrating, because once Wilmot's prone on the ground, irrespective of what you think, we probably don't need to see that. So, again, great management by the referee here. He's done really well just to nip that in the bud, and Wilmot looks like he'll be good to go back on in a moment. Redmond's got the ball back in his hands, and Wilmot's back on, and we're back to full complements and back to normal transmission, we hope.
Well, yeah, we knew this fixture would deliver, and it definitely is right now.
Certainly is. We know the emotion that it brings for everyone, and we're seeing that play out in the physical here. Perez and Willard fighting tooth and nail for that one. It'll be a throw in favour of Valentine. tell you what, those clusters of Valentine fans certainly stand out, as you can see those in the back of the shot there in their bright orange. West Wallsend have taken over most of the hill.
I'm interested to see where the ball is now, Chris. If that's one of our NPL sides, potentially on a silly Saturday in the all orange. I don't think they're Valentine fans. I might be wrong.
Yeah, right. Well, it certainly looks like it. Interesting to know. Valentine will count the supporters. You take all of them that you can get. Now we've got West Wallsend pushing forward. Nice little ball on from Carroll, but Yamakami breaks it up. Valentine push forward. Pettit, better touch on this one. Ross falling away there, just couldn't quite control the way he wanted. He was still giving his touch earlier. There's a missed touch for him, and now all of a sudden it breaks up, and Akita back there tracking it down. We'll go to Volkeen. Juggle. Drives it long over halfway into the wind. Cox pushes it forward. Low pressing on Akita. He'll go back to the keeper. Volkeen's absolutely sliced that through the gully.
Yeah, well, I think, Chris, it's a little bit deceiving from up here looking at the field, because the playing surface, when the ball rolls, it's got a wicked bounce to it. And I'll tell you what, if I'm a keeper, if I'm Volkeen or Redmond today, I don't want to be receiving a back pass like that where I have to hit it first time.
It's certainly tough between that and then if it does get off the ground. The wind doesn't take much height for the wind to start getting hold of it. And it's all sorts of tricks. It's a tough time to be a goalkeeper. This one lofted in to the back post. Beats everyone though, does it? It does. The referee says it'll be a goal kick. That was well delivered. Right at the back post. If that player could have met it, it was rocketing into the back of the net.
Yeah, wicked ball from Cox there, and I think it was Josh Carroll who got up. Beat everyone in the air, just the ball beat him as well, unfortunately.
Now you're going to get plenty of carry coming from this western side, just with that wind coming across the field. So it's a great one, just to sort of almost under-hit it up into the air and just let the breeze do the work for you.
Yeah, of course.
Volkeen though. Now we'll drive it long. Doesn't have as much of the wind. It's sort of slightly angular across the field, but mostly from the west. And more to the advantage of West Wallsend in this first half. And as we head towards the end of regulation time, we'll see how much added time we're going to have in this first half. We've obviously had a couple of prolonged stoppages with the injury to Stegen and then the penalty and a challenge on Wilmot there as well. Valentine chipped this one forward, not with much control. And it's just headed back by Cox, and it goes across the sideline. Four minutes of additional time to be played. Still time for a little twist here. It'd be a huge momentum swing for either side to get another goal before half-time, or a goal if you're West Wallsend.
Yeah, massively, and these are the moments where just a lapse in concentration and fatigue could play a part.
Well, good bounce here. So, Pettit again, the threat. Got a lot of threats in that front third. The two Pettits, Ross as well. Redmond's up to the challenge there, though. Maybe just, again, wander out of his box a little bit, see if he can lure in a Valentine defender. Can't do so, so drives long up with the win. And again, as he has done with a lot of his goal kicks today, just beats the whole of the outfield players, and it ends up with his opposite number down the other end. Carroll will push forward with not much intent and just force Volkeen to pick that one up. Now it's lofted up. Pettit working. McDougall, plenty of voice. Greentree comes forward. It's been a nice battle since McDougall's come on. Both of them showing plenty of intent, plenty of energy.
It has been good. There's been plenty of good battles across the field so far in this first half. And I will say, Chris, since it's gone up 1-0, see a foul now for West Wallsend. As it has gone 1-0 to Valentine, I've been impressed the way Valentine have approached this. Probably looked a little bit better in terms of territory and moving forward now. A little bit more composure as well, as they know they've got the lead. They didn't go into panic. They've stayed really solid defensively, and They're almost inviting West Wallsend and then playing off the back of that when they get the ball on transition.
Feels like we've developed into a bit more of a game rather than a probe and see since that goal, where both sides have realised, well, this has made things a little bit more serious now, and I think we're seeing those game styles come out a little bit more, although both sides appearing at the moment happy to whittle down the time of stoppage time and maybe maintain the status quo as we head towards the break.
Well, yeah, it's kind of forced both clubs to come out of their shell a little bit at the moment, and that's a good win in the middle of the field.
Yamakami pushing the ball forward. Pettit is being collected from behind by Cox. Cox is going into the book. I was going to say, it's not the first time he's raised the eye of the referee, and this time he will go into the book. The first card of the day. And is this a chance for Valentine just to grab another goal right before half-time? You can see there, Cox had the ball taken away from him, and that's just, yeah, that's unnecessary. He just came in, full hip slide in, took the legs out of the player as he played the ball on. He wasn't to know that he was going to dispose of the ball then, but it doesn't really matter whether he has the ball or not with a tackle like that.
No, not at all. And it was good work originally from Yamakami to win that ball back for Valentine. And they looked dangerous there if he had gotten that ball through to Pettit and eventuated to anything. Again, well adjudicated from the referee. A little bit sloppy from Cox, but as he's going to get back on his feet now, Yamakami. Valentine have got a good opportunity, potentially in striking range here, with only just a minute to go in additional time.
Interesting to see what Dean Pettit does here. Does he loft it up and let it drift and have someone, maybe a Carl Graham, coming from the back post, or his brother in Scott? But Yamakami, an interesting story, came to Valentine from the Mongolian Premier League. Japanese heritage player, but obviously has travelled a little. That's where the big hold-up was with his visa, so haven't seen as much of him as we might have liked. He's looked dangerous today, though, each of the opportunities. A little pocket rocket that he is. But for now, it will be Dean Pettit over the dead ball. He's going to take a strike at goal. Finds the woodwork. Campbell Ross takes another strike. His is well clear. I tell you what, that had hearts in mouth for West Wallsend fans, that is for sure. In the shadows of half-time here, right on the 4-minute mark of stoppage time. I'll have a little bit more. Not much, I wouldn't think, with that extra stoppage there for the yellow card and foul. I might have a few more seconds. Will this be the last kick of the half? Waiting to see the referee just checking with his assistants. Plays on. Now they push forward. Driven long by West Wallsend. Graham sends it back. Just prodding it towards the sideline. Still got time for a throw. Quickly move it on. Willard going forward. Perez is there. He's going to play it back to Graham. He'll drive it long. Towards halfway. Pettit. Scott Pettit tries to control it. Perez comes racing out of the line to play it forward. Another throw. They play on here. First half of the promotion relegation playoff for Northern New South Wales. Valentine the advantage, looking for a spot in the 2026 NPL. And the referee says that will do us here at Magic Park for the first half. And at the break, Valentine FC are halfway to securing their NPL future. They lead 1-0 at the break in the 2025 promotion relegation playoff. Opening goal to Scott Pettit from the penalty spot takes the lead for Valentine heading into the sheds. We're going to take a short break here from Magic Park. We'll be rejoining you shortly and looking forward very much to another 45 minutes of action in the promotion relegation playoff.
NBN News is your news.
The whole street came together to help.
You can trust NBN News to take you to the heart of the stories that matter.
Desperate call to arms and bring you the facts.
This crime scene remains active, driven by the most powerful newsroom
In northern New South Wales.
Border Force is using new technology.
more live and local than ever.
Live from a packed McDonald Jones Stadium. Fans were left breathless.
NBN News
Is your news.
Oh yeah, that's the feeling. Progress. Momentum. Getting somewhere. That's what it feels like when you bank with Newcastle Permanent. With local experts and award-winning customer service. We're here for you, and we're here for good.
We're back at Magic Park, the halftime break. See the substitutes out there warming up, plenty of action. Got the mini roos out there as well. It's all happening here at Magic Park in the break. Valentine leading 1-0 over West Wallsend. The momentum all in the favour of the side in orange. Let's take a look at some of the opportunities in the first half. Dan Greentree was the first one to fire a shot in anger, just sailing over the crossbar. The best of the chances for the Bluebells so far. And then it spilled about in the box, and Carl Graham drove it, found the outstretched arm of Jensen. And our referee, after only a moment, pointed to the spot. He was clear, he was concise, as was this man. Scott Pettit just rolled it casually into that bottom left corner. A little bit of frustration there from the West Wallsend goalkeeper as they fell behind here in such a crucial goal in a crucial game. And Valentine continued to push forward, and you thought they were going to double the lead here. They got an opportunity but couldn't quite do it, and again they took another chance, and Ross, beautiful touch back inside. Pettit, just an air swing there. I feel if he had it connected, he might have got the second. And then a hit up between Redmond and Wilmot saw us take a pause, a breath and a break. Finally, that free kick that rattled the woodwork just inside of half-time. The follow-up from Ross, well clear of the crossbar. But Valentine, the best of the chances in that first half. To much of the dismay of that very healthy crowd of West Wallsend fans in Buttes. But Valentine certainly not just the advantage on the score sheet, but the way they finished that half.
Yeah, I agree. It's been a good affair. Both clubs come with the right attitude into this game and knew that, you know, it was important to have a strong start, and it did give us a chance to expose both sides. And Valentine, well, they've done a great job to get in, push into the lead, and they've just taken control.
They certainly have. Talking about taking control, the Northern New South Wales best will be taking on and trying to take control against the Newcastle Jets. A pre-season game for the Jets. They'll be taking on the best of the Northern New South Wales men's and women's. A doubleheader, a big game there, Darling Street Oval. The scene will be set. What an opportunity for the best of Northern New South Wales players on the 20th of September at Darling Street Buttes to be able to take on the top-tier team from our national competition from our region.
Yeah, how exciting. For both men and women, like you said, it's a great opportunity, and I think there's a really good buzz and feeling about football in Newcastle at the moment and the whole region. So what an opportunity, and hopefully there's a good crowd that gets around those games as well.
Yeah, we'll certainly get down and get to that game. Obviously, the Jets at the moment, they're going gangbusters into the semi-finals of the Australia Cup. we're at the peak of the Northern season as well, so it's going to be absolutely the best of football in our region. You can get down and watch that one at Darling Street Oval live, or alternatively you can tune in and watch it live and free here on the Northern New South Wales Football YouTube channel. Lots of action and some of the best football you will see to bring our season towards a pinnacle and the season end after our grand finals. We might just take another quick short break before we have the return of the teams here for the second half of the promotion relegation playoff in 2025. Valentine leading 1-0 over West Wallsend.
NBN News is your news.
The whole street came together to help.
You can trust NBN News to take you to the heart of the stories that matter.
Desperate call to arms and bring you the facts.
This crime scene remains active.
Driven by the most powerful newsroom.
In northern New South Wales.
Border Force is using new technology.
More live and local than ever.
Live from a packed McDonald Jones Stadium. Fans were left breathless.
NBN News
is your news.
Oh yeah, that's the feeling. Progress. Momentum. Getting somewhere. That's what it feels like when you bank with Newcastle Permanent. With local experts and award-winning customer service. We're here for you, and we're here for good.
Welcome back to Magic Park. We're all set for the second half, the 2025 Northern New South Wales Promotion Relegation Playoff. A spot in the NPL for season 2026 on the line. Chris McPherson and Matthew Butner bring you all the action And we've got a second half ready to rock and roll here. West Wallsend are chasing this game. They are down 1-0. It was Scott Pettit from the penalty spot that got us started. The Buttes, 45 minutes is a lot of time for a lot to happen.
Yeah, so much time, and how exciting the first 45 minutes was. We mentioned it earlier. It looks like Martinelli's coming on now to make his introduction into the game. I believe he scored in their last fixture as well against the Stags. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting 45 minutes. You'd have to expect a big 45 from West Wallsend. They have to respond.
Interesting to see what comes of it. Just looks like he's replaced Wilmot. So Wilmot took that knock in the first half. And again, I wonder if that forced change of Verstegen before just led to Cass Wright making the most of a half time where the rotation doesn't count against their tally. Does count as a substitution, obviously, against their tally, but they are limited to 3 rotations during regular time. You see that lofted back over the head of McDougall. Now, West Wallsend. What's been the conversation from Kane Goodchild and co in the change rooms?
Yeah, if you're just tuning in as well to this game, the first 45 minutes, it took about 25 minutes or so for both clubs to feel each other out. It was pretty cagey, very physical as well. And we saw that penalty that come about for Valentine. Scotty Pettit putting the team in orange in front 1-0, and they kind of just controlled the rest of the half from there. They had, a number of chances following that and probably could have extended their lead to 2 or 3. So West Wallsend, they need to come out and have a strong start to this second half. Cox with an opportunity now.
Into the wind, doesn't loft it up. Interesting there, high boot, waved away. Still going here. Caleb Cox sandwiched, and Martinelli takes it away. Plays it out in front of Yamakami. Yamakami will drive down the line here. Working, he's got Pettit inside, ignores him, waves away, goes to Martinelli. Martinelli, nice little ball in behind. Ross, again Yamakami. This time he uses Scott Pettit. Will he cross it in? Just plays it into the back, but the offside flag up against Scott Pettit again.
Yeah, a couple times now Scotty Pettit's been done by the flag, but Martinelli, a couple of positive touches there off the bench. We know his quality in the league and his experience as well, spending a bit of time in the Jet system, the youth system. He's got a lot of experience coming in for the Orange.
He's their leading goal scorer in 2024, Martinelli.
There you go. It's a handy substitution to have coming on in the second half in a game that's a must-win.
He's wanting to close this one out, Valentine, and following the trend of Adamstown, who last year saw off the relegation playoff system. Of course, if you're new to the Northern New South Wales competition, at the end of the regular season, we have an automatic relegation with the team placed 12th. The New Lambton Golden Eagles went down. The top side in the Northern League 1, or the second tier of Northern New South Wales football, they come up immediately, which is Cohiba. So they'll be in the NPL next year. And then teams 2 through 4 play in a semi-final series up against the 11th place side from the NPL. So Valentine finished the NPL season 11th. Toronto Awabba finished the Northern League 1 season 2nd. They played against West Wallsend in a 2-legged semi-final. West Wallsend won 4-2. And then the Singleton Strikers were 4th in the Northern League 1. They played a 2-legged semi-final against Valentine, which Valentine took out 2-0. Hence we are here now, and the winner gets a spot in the NPL for 26, and Buttes, the other, will head to the Northern League 1, where there'll be a lot of expectation on them as one of the stronger teams for 2026.
Yeah, of course. And I have absolutely no doubt that either of these sides today want to be pushing for that top flight in the Northern New South Wales competition.
Well, I would be very surprised if it doesn't come through as Conway goes forward, tries to get ahead to it, but just runs into Perez, who was set. And it'll be a goal kick. Conway trying to argue the cause. Yeah, I don't know whichever side comes out on the losing side of this will be heavily featured next season in the Northern League 1 at the top end of the table, and undoubtedly pushing for this opportunity again. As we said, West Wallsend know this system. They were in it last year. They were knocked out by Adamstown in the semi-finals. They're a side that's consistently been at the top of the Northern League 1. They won the 2023 grand final before promotion relegation playoffs came into effect last season for the first time. And it's a wonderful initiative. It adds some more excitement. It adds some opportunity that means that, these teams have got the equivalent of a grand final, but also a huge upside from it. And not to say that winning a grand final isn't a huge upside, Buttes, but yeah, there's a chance to go to the top tier.
Yeah, of course, and you see it around the world in football. The battle for promotion and relegation is almost always as exciting as who wins at the top. So we're treated with a game today. It's really living up to it.
Certainly is, and it just seems to have gone to another gear since that goal in the first half. And now Perez working wide near the 18-yard box, drops it back to the experience of Cale Graham. Returns the favour. Perez dispossessed. Nice work there, West Wallsend. They think about going on a probing pass early, but pull back, and now they'll work it around. Fed forward. Graham takes it again. He's just so efficient in defence.
Yeah, crucial intervention there from Graham, using his experience. Just getting in front of Josh Carroll, I believe, for West Wallsend.
Graham goes long. Gets it out in front of Pettit. Plays it into the box. Just cleared away. Last line of defence does well. Dangerous attacking raid from Valentine. Not done yet. Scott Pettit gets it in. Headed to the right of goals. Campbell Ross. He's been close. He's been involved in some attacking raids and has a chance to shoot himself. And now we're going to see a change for the Bluebells. And it will be that man you just talked about, Butts. Josh Carroll will come from the field to be replaced by Mitchell Kramer.
Yeah, Mitchell with a good opportunity now to put his impact and stamp on the game. And I just wonder if it was when he went down a little bit earlier in the first half. That niggle, little injury, might have just been enough to put a bit of doubt in the coach's mind and his own.
Hitting a little bit of discomfort there, or just a slight hobble to him as he came off. So unfortunately that means his afternoon will be over, but a chance for Kramer now to get involved and make an impact. Ball headed into the throng of West Wallsend fans on the hill. So I have to take your hats off to the team at Broadmeadow Magic for getting this surface up to scratch for today. After all the rain we've had, everything's just run really smoothly. It's been a great afternoon thus far. We had the reserve grade Northern League 1 grand final a little earlier on, as we touched on in the first half, and Lake Macquarie won that 1-0 over Cahaiba. It is a picture-perfect site today at Magic Park. As we said, the surface a little bobbly, but that's the joys of playing on grass. They've done a wonderful job after all that rain, Butts.
Yeah, they definitely have, and to be able to play it on a grass pitch, considering the weather we did have, is an absolute treat. And that's another yellow card.
It's going to Fitchett, I think. Again, just a cynical play, just dragging a play to ground. I think players are too concerned on having one yellow card today, but it does mean you need to be a little cautious, because the last thing you want to be doing is playing the last 20 or 30 minutes of this game down a player. But with the emotions where they are, it's undoubted that a few yellow cards are going to come out at some point. Starting to see them now. Conway, he's just been sniped there. Tripped over the ball. Pettit. Perez is there.
Tidy ball out wide, and Perez has made a bit of an introduction into this game now. He was a bit quiet early on. Starting to get some more service down this left flank for Valentine.
Another good late addition into their squad this year. Perez was playing over in the US in some college football earlier. College soccer, as they call it in the US, just to differentiate. West Wallsend looking a little nervy, a little disconnected. Yamakami almost had a chance there. Now they break free. Great run from Jensen. He's going to go end to end. Now all of a sudden the orange jerseys converge. Low. The West Wallsend fans on the hill are in raptures already, and they haven't even seen much yet. Low doing well. Last touch comes off Low, and it will be a goal kick. And free signal has come off the back of his heel as he pirouetted there.
Yeah, really good intention from Jensen there. They've been spoiled of opportunities, unfortunately, so far. They haven't had very many, West Wallsend, but if you've got your centre-back making a move like that from the back, he's really showing his intent. He knows the importance of the next 35 minutes or so.
Bolkeen now. He'll get the best of this wind in the second half and gets behind it and clears it a good 65 metres. Now Cox plays it forward to the substitute and Kramer. Ball spills all the way back to defence. Campbell Ross has been busy. Comes forward now, looks to loft it into the box. Well dealt with. Captain plays it out. It's a strong challenge, and it will be another yellow card. This time Spencer Clark going in the book. As players always are, Butts pretends to be perplexed, but I'm pretty sure he knows exactly what happened there.
Yeah, I think so. The referee not afraid to pull out the cards this half. He has a due to the game. All the referees have today really well. And you just have to think Valentine in this second half, they've come out in these opening 10 minutes the same way that they finished the first half. Just tightening the screws, trying to push for a second goal, try to bury this game and secure their spot in the top flight of Northern New South Wales football next year. And they have a great chance now. I think it's Ross over the ball. Maybe wrong. Cooper Fitchett it is.
Interesting. This is a really similar spot to where we saw 2 free kicks in the first half that Dean Pettit took, but obviously the wind going differently here. So Fitchett headed on. Scott Pettit, he's got a double. Easy as you like. He stood on the penalty spot and delivered. Cale Graham's given Blake Redmond some absolute what for, giving him some feedback. Blake Redmond's taken umbrage. There's no love lost here, but the main thing, if you're a fan of Valentine and a fan of the colour orange, they are leading 2-0, and both of them coming through the experience of Scott Pettit. And all of a sudden, Valentine, you have to say they've got 1 foot back into the NPL in 2026. That is clinical. He just took 1 step forward, met the delivery and nodded it across the keeper. Look at this. Beautiful placement. That is absolutely textbook, Matt Butner.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant ball from Fitchett there, and such a dangerous area, and it needed a good delivery, and wasn't it not? Like, Pettit on the spot. He's got that striker's instinct, and that's 2 goals to his name today, and he could be the hero for Phoenix as they extend their lead. And West Wallsend, well, they got to find answers quickly.
Certainly do. And you have to think, if we flash back to that first half, it could have been a hat-trick for Scott Pettit.
Yeah.
And knowing what I do about Scott Pettit is that's what he'll be looking at later. He'll be cursing himself if they do get through. He'll certainly be cursing himself if they end up in extra time that he missed that opportunity. But we've still got over a half an hour to play here, so time for West Wallsend to conjure something back. Well, a beautiful ball in. Conway just a heavy touch. Akita pulled up out of that. I thought we were going to have a mix-up between Akita and Volkeen, but Volkeen, a nice strong call.
Yeah, good ball there from Willard on the right flank here, and West Wallsend, they got to find answers. I'm not sure at the moment where it's going to come from. It might come from that man Willard from a wide delivery. I might see Cox inject himself a little bit more. They need to start pushing boys forward. Suddenly it's not a 1-goal lead, it's 2 that Valentine have. Requires at least 2 goals to get themselves into any sort of game right now.
Yeah, you start to wonder as time ticks away, there's got to be a point where the coaching staff of Cox and Goodchild start directing numbers forward, and it's almost that that ice hockey theory. In a game like this, it's almost empty net. It's just as beneficial to lose 3-0 as it is to not chance your hand and lose 2-0. Ross will push forward. Valentine, they're not done yet. They know another goal would all but secure them their spot again in the NPL for 2026. Ross prods it forward.
Well, yeah, Valentine, since they went up 1-0 late in that first half, have just gone another gear for me. They just look comfortable defensively and on the ball. They have a lot of players up front who are tidy, who can undo this West Wallsend back line. And they just look like they're playing with more confidence now.
We saw them at their best this year. They challenged them sides. Even late in the season, Broadmeadow Magic, they went down 2-1 against, a team that set the record for the most points in an NPL season in Northern New South Wales. And we know they've got that ability, but then they turned out some of those other performances. This is just, that almost seemed just hit and hope there from Greentree. It's like he didn't really have a plan on how to target a player and didn't want to sort of put it up with the into the wind. So just prodded it along the ground, I think. We just need to see some more intentional play from West Wallsend here in the attacking third, as Lowe trying to do it all himself. He's dispossessed. Ball's laid off nicely. Conway takes us away. Opportunity to swing the ball wide if they can and move it quickly. McCarter's here. Pettit working hard. Buoyed by his 2 goals thus far. Lofted into the box. Opportunity, chested down. Kramer got it down and the strike was off target. Just didn't have enough sauce on it from Lowe to threaten, and it was a little misdirected as well.
Yeah, it's better from the Bluebells. But again, nothing too convincing. I'll tell you, Brody Valentine will be happy if that's what he's going to be receiving for the rest of the afternoon.
I don't know that he's really had to make a save yet. It's not a bad way in a big game as a goalkeeper. You're not too disappointed if you're not involved much. And there's obviously the wonderful headlines when you are involved and you pull off those big saves, but I'm sure the celebration beverages will taste just as good if they are to continue on and get to that point for Brody Valentine either way.
Well, yeah, of course, and I just think the challenge again now for West Wallsend moving forward is Valentine know they've got that 2-goal lead and they don't need to press. They weren't pressing anyway, but they just know they can sit in a disciplined block and get by their business. They haven't been under too much threat this game at all, and we just have to think they're going to try and see this one out and push on for a third. As we see right now, it looks like Dean Pettit's on the ball.
Especially those experienced centre-backs. You've got Graham and Akita there. They are stoic at the back, and they'll continue to try and capitalise on that by just sitting that block, as you say, and they're hard to penetrate. So West Wallsend are going to need to bring something big and find something creative, and we haven't seen that yet. This one out in front for Clark. Gets a turn, a little clip, not a lot in that. Referee's actually going to drag Fitchett out here. West Wallsend fans are calling for his head on the hill. I think that's a bit of overkill. I think this might be as much about just a sign from the referee as much as anything. Sometimes just about management. Showing West Wallsend that they're getting a call as well, after they've given away a couple in recent times. Caleb Cox over the ball now.
You'd have to assume Cox will be looking to put this one into the box for the Bluebells.
Exactly what he does, just lets the wind do its work. Sits there in an opportunity. West Wallsend players not really wanting to take it though. Sort of standing there looking at it thinking someone else might. Scott Pettit takes the invitation. Valentine will drive this wide. Sits nicely for Martinelli, but he's beaten out by Jensen. He prods it forward, but again, there's that man. Everything's going to him, Scott Pettit at the moment. Campbell Ross puts it out in front, Martinelli. Martinelli plays it off the legs of Greentree. Greentree will see it across the line, but he manages to get it off the legs of Martinelli, so West Wallsend will have a throw.
Yeah, good defensive work from Greentree there. Coming from the left back, had to come and do a job over on this near side here, and defensively he's been really impressive. In fact, one of their best for West Wallsend. Change
coming here. Will be Cooper Foss coming on for Cooper Fitchett. Cooper for Cooper. A lot of Coopers going on in this Valentine's side. 3 of them in total. Must be something in the water down that way.
Martinelli says anywhere's good enough.
Yeah, Martinelli's nearly put that into McDonald Jones Stadium. Hoofed that well clear. And McCarmy pushing forward and not quite sure that's what he was looking for. We'll have a goal kick. I'll tell you what, Butts, as you well know, we've obviously got plenty of time left here for a twist and a turn in the tail, but we've got more finals football coming to you again tomorrow. The men's and women's NPL Premier League preliminary finals. It's a bit of a tongue twister. The men's at 2 o'clock. Western up against Lambton from Rockwell Automation Park. Followed at 4:30 by the women's, where Maitland and Newcastle Olympic will battle for a spot to take on Charlestown Missouri in the grand final. So grand final tickets on the line. End of season for one side in each of the competitions, and one going through to the grand final to take on Broadmeadow and Charlestown Missouri respectively. And of course you can catch it all live and free back to back here on the Northern New South Wales YouTube channel, as all of a sudden West Wallsend pushing into the box. They're looking for Willard there. Clark held off and Valentine took it. Willard looking like he might be the wild card they need if they can just get him on one end of the ball or the other, as Valentine just drives this long and finds the sideline. Valentine making full use of the wind to just capitalise on territory here where they can. Smart football, you're up 2-0. In a do-or-die game, play football at the other end makes it a lot harder for the other team to score.
Yeah, of course.
Cox now, space to take on, and he does take it on. That's better from young Caleb Cox. Prods the ball forward, tries to bisect the centre-backs. And Kramer just overcooks that a little. Heavy touch.
Yeah, that's positive from Cox. Better. And the game's just going to start opening up a little bit as well. We've mentioned this pitch is quite wide. It is quite big. And as this game goes on for the remainder, fatigue will kick in. Maybe a bit of complacency from Valentine. They are in cruise control at the moment, and they have been for probably 60 minutes, 65 minutes of this game. But it only takes a moment, and we know how dangerous a 2-0 lead can be in football, Chris. West Wallsend can jag one back, especially with the fans they have here today and what's at stake. You'd almost back them to get a second.
Yeah, the mood will change very quickly. It'll become cauldron-like because those West Wallsend fans are almost silent at the moment. And you can understand why. The wind taken out of their sails with 2 goals conceded thus far. But Valentine back to Akita. He decides to go long and again use that wind to take on and take up territory. Redmond waves off his centre backs and says, I'll take it on for now. Thank you, lads. Now, Bailey Jensen. Again, no press. Offered space, takes it. I think that's a wise move from West Wallsend. Lofted ball down the line. And here's a played inside. That's beautiful work. Greentree pops it back. Kramer couldn't get the touch on it. Another strike taken. Blocked by the back of Ross. And Valentine dodge a bullet there. Kramer just couldn't get enough on that. Clark does well. Low almost strains a groin stretching for that one. Couldn't bring it in. Much more promising, much more fruitful looking signs from the men in blue. And see this replay here. Wonderful work, just the deflection, and Kramer, I feel he might have been better to try and take that on his left. He tried to pivot his body and push it across on the right, and it ended up just being a bit of a shovel, didn't it?
Yeah, what a good opportunity for West Wallsend, and what a crucial intervention as well from Cale Graham. That was definitely goal bound, and it was one of their best chances, and they're just enjoying a spell of possession at the moment, the Bluebells. They're exploiting these wide areas, trying to get balls in the box at the moment.
Kramer gets a nice little touch here, plays it wide. McCarter thinks about a shot, plays into the back of the defender in Foss, and now it's a foot race. Happy to play territory. The wind will hold this up and keep it in field. Perez, Kramer charging across. Perez just deft little touch around him. Now they go across to Akita. Long. Valentine, not quite sure. That's how Greentree was intending that to come out. Advantage will be played. Pettit takes a strike. Doesn't threaten anyone, except maybe the few fans on the hill.
Yeah, he's been one of their best today, Dean Pettit. In fact, both Pettits have been really good for Valentine. Full of confidence. He's very good on his right foot. As you just saw, he drove in with it and actually elected to put it back on his right foot for the strike.
Sort of strikes you can afford to take when you got the wind behind you. 2 goals on the scoreboard unanswered. Most of the momentum. Kramer just spins into a challenge with Akita. Low returns it. Kramer now plays it on Conway. Cox lofts it forward. The only problem, both of his forward runners had their backs to goal and couldn't turn in time to chase. Okay. Slices it off the left. Headed forward, headed back. Kramer off against Graham. Now against Perez. Plays it off the legs of Perez. Good work there from Kramer to earn the throw in the attacking half. Got more changes coming. It will be Willard, so he won't be the man to find the solution for them. Jake Bauer will come on. The jersey 11.
Here we
go. Players that scored in that 2023 grand final shootout, so he knows how to step up under pressure. Now with a nice touch for Kramer. Now Cox. Conway out to Kramer. Floats it up into the box. Valentine comes out. A good strong punch under pressure. They come forward again, West Wallsend. They're certainly not done.
Yeah,
they're
great goalkeeping then.
Looking to push on. It was great goalkeeping. Well read. Took on the pack. Greentree down the left as he has all day. Step over. Lofts it in. Gonna take a deflection. Interesting, Valentine didn't try and catch it. Just went for the punch. Conway heads it in. Clark, the leading scorer. Can he get something? Conway looking to push it wide for Bauer. Then he's taking friendly fire in the back of the head. Just dragged Foss to ground, and the referee's going to talk to him about it. I tell you what, he's a little worse for wear after all of that. It's Jed Conway. He looks like he's been 6 rounds with Conor McGregor.
He's got to dust that one off. It's positive play from West Wallsend. And it looks like they're trying to go the wide areas and just put balls in the box, get Brody to deal with them. He didn't want to catch that last one as well. It was sitting up in the air for a little while, but
he's got a good strong punch on him though, so I can understand backing it, but I'd like to see a goalkeeper who's confident taking the ball in 2 hands when there's realistically he had a half yard of space. Back himself, he's got a strong physical presence. Not a small man. West Wallsend, they keep going forward here. Ross tangled in. Cale Graham trying to convince the assistant referee that should be his throw in. Good to see Cale sticking true to his cause.
Yeah, it's good to see West Wallsend starting to knock on the door now. It is now or never. It's 20 minutes plus additional time remaining in this one. I'd like to see Bauer get on the ball as well. He looks like he's got something about him.
So it does. Conway's look like he's taking it up a gear in recent minutes. Greentree's been good for them as well. Those prodding runs. Let's see a little more out of low here late. Kramer. I think anyone was getting up to that one. Here's Bauer putting pressure on Perez. Perez working for it. He does well to get to the outside. Maintains possession. Drives it along the line. That's great pressure there from young Jake Bauer. Now Perez has gone down. Grabbing his knee. Or his calf. I'm not quite sure. It's just his calf. Okay. That's the better of those 2 options. Just a cramp. Official announcement of just over 1,400 people in attendance here today. That's wonderful numbers for local football. You consider, just over the road there during the summer, they quite often are only getting just on double that. So wonderful to see here for the promotion relegation playoff. Undoubtedly big crowds out again next week as we have our men's and women's grand finals over at Darling Street. Looking forward to those. So much football to come. We talked about the All-Stars versus the Jets as this one's crossed in the box. Akita gets a boot to it. And of course the Regional Super League finals will be held up at Scully Park in Tamworth in the 2nd weekend of October. So much football to come. And I'll tell you what, speaking of football, here is some football from Valentine, but well dealt with. Bailey Jensen, he's been solid today. Gets forward, plays it infield. Conway's there. I don't think he was expecting that pass. He was just sort of resting on his heels. Cox pushes it forward, not wide enough. Perez takes it. You can see what they're trying to do there. Bauer. This is a nice little battle developing, Bauer and Perez. Bauer gets away. Martinelli's having to defend back. Couldn't quite control it though. Great tracking back from Nick Martinelli.
Yeah, really good work from your number 9. And you just mentioned Bauer as well. He's definitely injected some energy for West Wallsend at the moment, which is what you'd expect from a substitute.
Just won that ball for them there, and they push forward now. They've switched it across the point of attack. Lowe's there. Nice little play on for Greentree. Can he get the cross in? He's got a step of space if he can deliver early. That's okay. They'll settle for a corner here. It's going to be up into the wind. What can they do with it? West Wallsend, is this the time for the delivery of Caleb Cox where they'll grab one back? 17 minutes remain, plus stoppage time. Opportunities are starting to thin. Needs to be soon for them.
If he can replicate what he done in his last cross, he's given it a very good chance, Chris.
What a pack here. There's 14, 15 players inside that 6-yard box. It falls short. Foss appealing for a high boot. Cox will get another chance to deliver it in. Again met. Dealt with that time by McDougall. Cox is there putting the pressure on, but they go on the attack. Pettit lofts it forward. Not really looking for Martinelli, just happy to play it at the other end. Jensen will go across. He'll lay it back for Redmond. Experienced shot stopper rolls it out. Back to Jensen. Cox.
We just feel, Chris, the momentum's just starting to swing a little bit again. West Wallsend pushing numbers forward, using all the width of this pitch, electing to go a little bit long as well when they can, and trying to get deliveries in wide.
Interesting to see Greentree now over on the right, trying to make a run. They're trying to connect him and Bauer. I think that might be the dangerous combination. Perez, nice little ball. Finds Scott Pettit. He puts it out in front of Foss. Then for Perez, but they couldn't connect. Now McCarmy comes through. And they're Go across the sideline for a throw in to Valentine. And now have another change. Double change it'll be. So Jed Conway will come from the field. Max Kavanagh coming on. And James Lowe will come from the field. Sam Marshall replacing him. So looking to empty the bench now and see what they can come. Max Kavanagh's interesting story. Come through from the under-18s. He debuted in the first leg of the playoff semi-finals. Opportunity there, but Redmond comes up to it. It's the same, Butts. Max Kavanagh debuted in the first leg of the playoff semi-final. What a time to make your first grade debut. Here he is again. Could he be the man of the moment? What a way that would be to make a statement in just the third game of your first grade career. Get on the score sheet here and liven this one up.
Still plenty of time in this one.
Ross comes away with it again. Just can't get the pass with Pettit. Greentree back to the left and takes the throw, gives it to Kavanagh. Youngster. Getting plenty of attention from Zach McDougall. Cox. Can't be controlled the next pass from Greentree, and Valentine will come with a throw. Zach McDougall getting some feedback from the West Wallsend fans there. Now he's manhandling one of their youngsters. A long throw. Ken Greentree somehow managed to keep that in. I thought for sure it had gone out twice. Now sliding in. Not quite clinical from Jensen, but it worked out nonetheless. Now they push wide looking for Bauer. Bauer versus Perez. Bauer gets the bounce of the ball. Cuts back to the outside, feeds it out in front. Opportunity here inside the box. Marshall couldn't find the lane, has to turn back away. Pettit tracking back. He's always experienced it. Head back towards goal as the captain. Now Perez sends it long. The opposition captain in Bryson Cox, who brings it back. Down the line. Licata and Cox.
Plenty of space on this far side if they can get the ball out there.
That's exactly where they go. They switch the point of attack. Jensen plays it wide. Greentree's got space. Takes it on, lofts it in, looking for Clark. Nice little tip on. Falls back friendly if they can get the shot. Kramer trying to get free in the box. Scott Pettit tracking back. Cox here. Will he wind up and take a shot? Yes, he does. Gets a little bit too much of it and slices it away over the crossbar. And now he's starting to have some challenges with cramp. It's interesting, the captain, Bryson Cox, talked about it during the week out. He himself was subbed off last year in the semi-final with cramp, late in regulation time when they came, went deep against Adamstown, and said that it was one of his big regrets and he'd be making sure it doesn't happen today, that he'd be going the 90 minutes. It's hard to predict though when the dreaded cramps will strike.
Yeah, it's great intentions to stay on for 90 minutes, but unfortunately, I don't think you can control when the cramps come or not.
Well, he's been solid today, despite the fact they've conceded 2 goals. I think one of them would be fair to describe as unlucky just because the angle it struck their player, it was a penalty, but it was one under the laws. The other was just some class from Valentine. We're going to have a throw for Valentine in the attacking third. That's not a throw, sorry, it is a free kick. We're just a little obstructed here on our view. Wonderful elevated spot at Magic Park, but just the stand here does block a little bit of the sideline. Crossed in dangerously towards the back post. Carl Graham's there, got a touch on it. Did he get the last touch? He did. We'll have a goal kick. Redmond wastes no time moving it forward, and Jensen's going to travel with it. Draws in a defender. They're drawing a couple more. Kramer's back there, but he's dispossessed, although it spills friendly for Jensen. Valentine just looking to turn the screws, block it up, clog it up, and slow it down here and rest on this 2-goal lead as we head towards the final 10 minutes of regulation time. The Bluebells need to find something. They need to find it soon. That's a nice ball bouncing forward for Marshall. Got the throw. Greentree takes it quickly. Nikita working here. Marshall does as well. That'll be a goal kick. Kramer visibly frustrated by that. Nikita's gone down. I'm not sure what's happened to him here. You get a little bit of a nudge as the ball went across the line, maybe? Or is it maybe just a little bit of gamesmanship? I don't want to be too cynical.
Well, he's back on his feet now. On his head by the looks of it. But he's all good. Play on. We are getting closer to that 90 minutes now. And you just mentioned Valentine tightening the screws. They're very, very solid defensively. And the men on the ball, the keeper and everyone in orange today, they're happy with a clean sheet if it remains like this.
Certainly will be. It was interesting to see on that replay. Just got a little bit of a shin to the head to Nikita, so it's a little bit of a knock. It was awkward. Also interesting to see that Dean Pettit came over for some instructions from the coaching staff at that stoppage. So I wonder what those messages would have been. I think it'd just be about reminding the guys to close it out and where they sit and the control they have. Bauer gets this one playing for Kramer against Nikita. Experienced import. Too strong on the ball there. Cox, Pettit. Will be Valentine's throw.
Experience from Pettit as well, and I have no doubt they'll be leaning on the boys with that experience in these final exchanges of this game, just to try and hold it out, stay composed, nothing silly.
So they've got plenty of experience, haven't they, when you look at Cale Graham, Scott and Dean Pettit. Two Japanese imports as well. Speaking of Cale Graham, there he is, just timing his run forward.
I know you mentioned it earlier, Chris, but the games that we have called, we've had the privilege to call a couple of games from Valentine this season, and they did have a scattered year in the top flight of NPL, but they have shown glimpses. Unfortunately, they were consistently poor across the year, but the games they did get it right, they could show that they could match it against the top clubs. It's just, we didn't see that too often.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a bit inconsistent as we see now. An opportunity, Kavanagh pushing forward. Unfortunately, that was an interesting endeavour with the two boots off the ground, sliding at the ball after it was about across the line. The challenge for Kavanagh there is he's ranging along the edge of the 18-yard box. Even if he pulls that up, he didn't have anyone in the 18-yard box at the time. Kramer and Bauer were still tracking down. And it's kind of, you need to be going forward in numbers. It's no good just one man going forward at this point, unless they can get clear of all lines, and then they're one-on-one with the keeper. But they realistically now, with 8 minutes plus some stoppage time to come, it needs to just be everyone push forward, everyone track back, and give us everything you've got, because you don't want to leave anything out there. You don't want to die wondering.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. And look, the numbers they have thrown forward, West Wallsend, you'd have to say Valentine have matched it every time they've gone forward. They've been able to match in numbers defensively and get the boys back that they need to.
This is better. Kramer now in the box. He's got Clark there. He's got Bauer wide. He's going to force Bauer to track back, though. Bauer against Perez. Tries to go around the outside. Heavy touch, and can't blame him there. They need to chance their hand. Unfortunately, though, time is not on their side, and Valentine just happy to manage this one home from here if they can. Perez with the throw. Goes long down the line. Two Pettit's options there, didn't find either of them. Kramer, that was pretty clumsy at best, and Akita's down. Kavanagh, continue to work here. You try and play the ball across. Good strong tackle. Another tackle, getting the ball. Not sure what happened there with Kavanagh. He's gone clattering into one of the defenders, and all of a sudden, Pettit's at the other end. Redmond got out. Pettit's going to chip this one into the net, and there's the third. And it's probably a sealer, but this time it is Dean Pettit. Blake Redmond was right out to the edge of his box. Pettit drew him in, tapped it away from him, and then just finished calmly as you like. And Valentine lead 3-0 in the promotion relegation playoff.
Yeah, brilliant work there from Valentine, and we just see that ball come through from Scotty Pettit. Redmond comes out. He's left in no man's land, and Dean Pettit says, I'll go around you and I'll put it in the back of the net. 3-0. Such a tidy finish there, and wow, both of the Pettit boys on the score sheet today. Well, they're having fun. Just question Redmond if he had to come out there or not.
It's always a challenge and a wonderful thought in hindsight, but all the story will tell is that both Pettits are on the score sheet, and there's going to be a celebration in the Pettit family household tonight, that is for sure. Because as much as I don't want to be the pessimist, I don't see West Wallsend finding 3 goals here in 5 minutes, but Instead, Valentine pushing the other way. They're full of confidence, full of vim, full of vigour and full of run. Licata looks around, looks up, can't find anyone, goes back to Redmond. Experienced keeper's going to drive long into the wind here. It's been left. Perez taps it on. He's been sniper. The cramps have got him. Bauer takes on Graham. Has to be careful not to foul here. The foul actually gave Valentine's way after Bauer grabs Yamakami. And again, the Japanese import, he's just stood up at key moments today, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been really solid. In fact, you know, the whole back line and the number 6 for Valentine, they've been so defensively disciplined. You know, holding a clean sheet. Cale Graham's had some massive introductions to this game.
Especially, you know, you think they lost one of their members of their back line early on inside the first 20 with Cooper Verstegen as well. Zach McDougall came on and he's been really solid. These guys have done a wonderful job. As you say, a clean sheet will undoubtedly be another good pat on the back for them, although the big job for them is just making sure their number on the score sheet's bigger than the other one. And at this stage it is.
Yeah, of
we
course.
just see Perez getting a little bit of treatment from the physio. Dean Pettit, after his goal, is going to be replaced. Shuku Sunzu coming on. And I would say Perez is going to come off, and it looks like Liam Ryan will come on. So Sunzu will slot back onto the edge of the back line, it looks like. Started the season at Bell Swans. Played at Lake Macquarie last year. He's been really impactful off the bench for a number of teams over the last few seasons. He's quick, he's agile, and he's the sort of guy that'll try and back himself to go the length of the field here and score a goal just to add some icing on the cake and some salt into the West Wallsend wounds. But in the meantime, can West Wallsend just grab some back to add some respectability to this scoreline? Foss on the ball now. Lofts that forward, and Redmond's going to have to track across and gets that with his chest. I thought he was going to grab that just outside the box, and I was like, that is the absolute last thing they need. Things are looking positive for Valentine to remain in the NPL as it stands. Just over 3 minutes of regulation time remaining as Sunzu gets ahead on that. Graham drives it forward, finds Martinelli. That's a nice pass. I don't know if that was quite the intention, but it worked out well. Next ball, though, sits up nicely for Redmond at the front of his 18-yard box. He'll go out to Bailey Jensen. Now they'll continue to fight down that eastern side. Nikita, one of the best for Valentine this season, and he's shown that again today alongside Graham in the centre of defence.
Yeah, he's been brilliant today, Chris. Been really impressed with his discipline defensively, and no foul given, says the referee. Play on, but yeah, very impressive display from both the centre-backs from Valentine today. I mentioned a little bit earlier in the game, everything that West Wallsend have been throwing up at Valentine, they've just been able to match it. They've got answers for everything that has been thrown at them. And it's a reflection in the scoreline at the moment. They haven't conceded a goal today. And, I mean, if we look back at it, it's probably only been 1 or 2 half chances for West Wallsend, which really hasn't posed any sort of threat for Valentine in their defence.
Yeah, I think it's testament to Cass Wright and her Valentine team. This is one of their best performances of the season. They've pulled out the top shelf performance when it matters. And that reflects not only in the scoreline, but in what we've seen here in terms of the display. And see 2 of the players come together here, and Cooper Foss, I'm not sure what he's complaining about. Licata clearly fouled him, but he's been given the foul. I think he wanted the referee to play advantage. I think if I'm in an orange jersey at the moment, I'm happy for as many stoppages and slowdowns as anyone likes when you're leading by 3. Just over 90 seconds of regulation time on the clock, and you can see there the foul count on the screen. West Wallsend have overtaken Valentine now. 12 fouls to 10. This one's lofted into the box, looking for a 4th. Valentine. Redmond just in a bit of doubt there, came off his line. It could have been dangerous with that header coming in from Ross in the end, but all's well that ends well, and Redmond drives this up high into the sky here at Magic Park late in regulation time. Sam Marshall chips it on. Both sides, it feels like it just going through the motions really now.
Martinelli with half a chance.
It's a jump on the defence. Well scrambled back there, Greentree. Pettit trying to go for a 3rd. And Martinelli comes in with the optimistic volley, I think you might call that, from Nicholas Martinelli.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, Chris. Quite optimistic, but I'll tell you what, Martinelli wouldn't mind another goal.
When you're 3-0 up and it's, the last 30 seconds, you can be forgiven for chancing your hand there and just having a crack. Because I tell you what, that if it had gone in would have been absolute icing on the cake, and Nicholas Martinelli would have been dining out on it for years to come. In the meantime, it's Scott Pettit. 2 goals to his name, plays it out in front. Here's Shuku Sunzu. What can he come up with? Gets to the edge of the 18-yard box, takes it on himself. He'll take a strike. Almost sneaks it beyond Redmond. And then Yamakami puts it into orbit as he falls off balance, trying to strike that off the left. And I told you that Sunzu would go forward and try and score.
Yeah, that's right. We just look at back at that. He carries it on his right foot. And doesn't he look dangerous? Just drops the shoulder, strikes it near post. And I tell you what, Redmond's done exceptional to get down and save that one. Very close to 4-0 to Valentine, but how exciting to have players like that you can come off the bench and make an impact. It feels like everyone for Valentine at the moment wants to score. Bauer with half a chance. Again, Graham equal to it.
Certainly is. Unsure how long the added time will be from the 4th official here. We weren't sighted on the board, unfortunately, so we'll just be guided by the referee. See what we can find out.
Oh, it's all class from Pettit again. He's been brilliant today, Scotty Pettit. He'll just bring the ball out to McDougall on the right. Enjoying some space down the right flank. You just feel like this game's just going to trickle out at 3-0, don't you, Chris?
Yeah, you feel both sides well aware of where we're getting to, the inevitable progression to full time here. A little unfortunate, didn't quite get the ending you might have wanted it to. Let's take confirmation. 5 minutes of added time to be played, so we're already a bit over a minute into that. So about 4 here. The West Wallsend crowd have found their voice again as the ball finds the sideline just in front of them, and giving Zach McDougall some, I'm sure, constructive criticism.
Sure.
He goes along with the throw, headed back by Marshall. And West Wallsend just add a little bit of respectability to the scoreline as Hiro Akita unintentionally uses Max Kavanagh as a chair. Got tangled up there and came to ground in an interesting way. Here's McDougall again with the throw. He goes long. His long throw's not really working out for him at the moment. Now they push forward here. What can they come up with? Not a lot, because it's been broken up again and pushed back to Wakata. Bauer's been certainly lively since he's come on. As has Foss. Foss plays it wide now to Ross. Shuku Sunzu into the 18-yard box again. Just trying to work over Lakata a little. Close touches. Pettit. A little slice off the outside of the right boot. That was intentional, trying to sit it up for someone at the back post. That's inventive and creative. He scored a couple, wanted to assist one, did Scott Pettit. Didn't quite work out, but fortune favours the brave. We don't mind seeing some of that sort of stuff, especially when you're looking to add some icing. Speaking of icing here, Yamakami's trying to get some of his own. Now Greentree working away from Ryan. Turns it over though, Martinelli. He thought about a strike from range, decides there's space in front of him, so he pushes forward. Sends it wide to Sunzu. Sunzu just, again, lovely little footwork in close there. Greentree scuffs it off the outside. Ryan into the roof of the net, the postage stamp. And that is curtains. 4-0 to Valentine. West Wallsend players strewn on the ground. That just confirmed the heartbreak they knew was coming. West Wallsend, devastation. Valentine, elation as they get a 4th through Liam Ryan. And as stoppage time ticks on, you see it here, Liam Ryan just skips to the outside of the miscued clearance and no keeper's stopping that. That's a wonderful finish from close range.
Yeah, super unfortunate from Greentree there, but it was pounced on and with some conviction as well, just blasting that into the roof of the net. And like you said, just putting a stamp on it, signed, sealed and delivered. 4-0 to Valentine, and what has been such a professional performance today. Well deserved, and looks like they'll see this game out. All celebrations for Valentine Phoenix.
Certainly will be. It's been a tough season. It's been challenging and for a number of reasons and a number of points in the season, but they've done well here when it's counted, Valentine, and ensured their survival in the top tier That said, West Wallsend are not going away without a fight. They want to get one on the scoreboard and finish with, I guess, a little bit of a salvo. And Clark will take a strike, and that's probably the closest that, outside of a couple of punch shots, that Valentine's come to making a save today. Again, testament to the wonderful work of his defensive line. Sunzu tries to control this one, can't do so. Licata heads it forward. Foss takes it away. Valentine now on their victory march. Licata needs to be careful. That was unnecessary. An advantage is played. It's just a lazy endeavour that he didn't pull out of. Foss tries to slice this and ends up sitting it up nicely. Doingle down there trying to control it, but has it taken away. Just over 5 minutes of stoppage time gone now, with a goal and a couple of breaks in play since we've gone to added time. There can't be too long left before it will be official, and Valentine will be crowned as an NPL participant for 2026 and the winners of the promotion relegation playoff final. But West Wallsend, they want to have one last chance, and here they go forward. And there's Valentine again. He's been busier in the last 60 seconds than he's been for most of the match. And that is full time at Magic Park. Valentine FC have done it. The Phoenix soar and secure their place in the 2026 NPL men's competition with a wonderful performance. Under Castrite, they've stared down the pressure and bounced back from setbacks, and today they've delivered when it mattered most. And for West Wallsend, it's heartbreak once again. 13 years in the wilderness continues, but you cannot fault their effort. Valentine showed plenty of character today and are well-deserved winners, 4-0. A double to Scott Pettit, a goal to Dean Pettit, and an icing from Liam Ryan in stoppage time sees them take this one out 4-0. Let's take a look back at the best of the second half. And it was a wonderful showing from the men in orange. West Wallsend were trying their luck early, creating chances. It was Valentine who had the best of them. Campbell Ross couldn't quite control that one onto target. But the next man, Scott Pettit, certainly caught a wonderful headed goal. That is absolutely textbook. Look at that finish from Scott Pettit. The experience, the positioning, the poise and the prowess all coming together for the captain. West Wallsend continued to press to try and find that elusive goal. They just couldn't find the target. Really challenged Cooper Valentine. Now, again, another strike from range, but again, that defensive unit from the Bluebells. A little bit creative and aggressive from Valentine as they look to ice it. West Wallsend started taking pot shots from range as well. Cox couldn't hit the target there. And they set the players free, and here it is. Dean Pettit drew out the goalkeeper. Whether he needed to come out or not, Redmond, we're not sure, but Pettit beautifully finished here, just did well. A little just tap across the goalkeeper and turned the defender inside out, beat them both with the finish. That was wonderfully placed. That extended it to 3-0. Then we saw Sunzu get injected, and my goodness, he was lively. Created a couple of chances. You thought he'd got the fourth for Valentine right there. But he could be credited with an assist on this one. Liam Ryan, after the skewed clearance here from Greentree, you have to feel for him. He'd had a good day despite the scoreline. And Liam Ryan, the substitute, made no mistake on the first time of asking to ice it and secure Valentine's return into the Premier League for another season. Wonderfully deserved, wonderfully earned by the men in orange. A great win for them and a great team effort. And despite the fact there was a 4-0 scoreline, Matt Beaton, I think you can say that the defence was the cornerstone of what this was built on.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, for Valentine this season, their defence hasn't been good at all, to be honest. And to have a professional display like they did today, to keep a clean sheet, to put 4 against West Wallsend, I thought it was a really professional display. And I thought the boys that needed to step up and lead by example, lead from the front. Their senior boys with experience did exactly that. And they went up 1-0 to a penalty. They could have went one of two ways, Chris. They could have sat in a block and tried to hold that lead and invite West Wallsend and try and defend off the back of that. Or they continue to play the game, they play with confidence and go and chase 2 or 3. And they did that, and they did exceptional. Credit to Valentine, and look, they've booked their spot into MPL next season.
They certainly have. West Wallsend will head back to the Northern League One, where they will try and go one better next year. And look, you certainly wouldn't write them off. Despite the margin of the scoreline, there were certainly moments and glimpses today from them. So wonderful to see their effort, and we look forward to seeing them in the promotion relegation fight again next year, undoubtedly. But as you said, Valentine will come back to the NPL. There'll be 11 sides returning, a new entrant in Kahaiba. We can't wait for 2026. It feels like it's too far away already. But the good news is we've still got plenty of action to come across the weekend. In the coming weeks, we've got the men's and women's NPL preliminary finals live and free on the Northern New South Wales Football YouTube channel tomorrow. The women's from 2 o'clock, and the men's, sorry, from 2 o'clock, the women's from 4:30. Looking forward to those views. But again today, very well-deserved winners. Valentine FC have run out winners 4-0 here. Of course, if those games I just talked about aren't enough football for you, we've got the Newcastle Jets versus the Northern New South Wales All-Stars, well, the best of Northern New South Wales talent, all pulled together to take on the Jets. Can the semi-professionals beat the professionals, Butts? I can't wait to find out. I don't think there's going to be a lot between them. It's going to be an exciting opportunity and clash.
Yeah, look, to answer your question, I'm not quite sure, but what I do know is that there's plenty of talent in this league, and I know that the team that's been put together was well crafted by a lot of members from the Northern New South Wales competition and staff. So I know it's going to be a great game. It's going to be enthralling. And yeah, how exciting that we've got 2 fixtures, women's and men.
Yeah, I certainly can't wait for that. It's going to be a great opportunity. Of course, we've got grand finals on the weekend of the 13th as well. So, sorry, the weekend of the 7th. I'm getting a week ahead of me. Then we'll have a week's rest. Then we'll go into that. Then we'll have the Regional Super League in early October as well. So much to look forward to. So much to come. But again, congratulations to Valentine here. Make sure you stay tuned to the Northern New South Wales Football YouTube channel for the rest of the season. We've got a huge presentation to come here as well, which we'll hand down to in just a moment. But as always, a big thank you for tuning in on behalf of myself and Matthew Butner. It's been a wonderful opportunity to bring this momentous occasion in Northern New South Wales football to you. And as I said, it's been huge to have the playoff final here at Magic Park. It's been a wonderful day, a wonderful game of football. Congratulations to Valentine. Congratulations to our reserve grade winners as well, Lake Macquarie City, who took that final out 1-0. Just get the official parties all ready. But again, as I said, a big thank you for tuning in. We're going to hand down to Kate Haberfield and the Northern New South Wales football team for the presentation. Again, it was a 4-0 win to Valentine, double to Scott Pettit, a goal to Dean Pettit, and a goal to Liam Ryan as they secured their spot for 2026 in the NPL. On behalf of myself and Matt Butner, signing out from another wonderful afternoon. Enjoy the presentation, and we look forward to bringing you more football in the coming weeks.
Good afternoon. Thank you for coming out to a lovely Magic Park this afternoon to witness this magnificent game we had here, the 2025 Northern New South Wales Promotion Relegation Playoff Final. And what a game it was. Please put your hands together for our winners, Valentine. And commiserations to West Wallsend, who sure put up a good fight out here today. My name is Kate Haberfield, and I will lead this presentation for you this afternoon. I'm joined on the pitch by Northern New South Wales Football Deputy Chair David Willoughby, Northern New South Wales Football Director Stephen Snedden, and Northern New South Wales Football CEO Peter Haynes. Firstly, this afternoon, I'd like to acknowledge the Awabakal people, the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today, and pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. To start off this afternoon, I'd like to acknowledge our match officials for their contribution to this afternoon's match. I'd like to invite Northern New South Wales Football Director Stephen Snedden to step forward and present our match officials with their medals, starting with the fourth official, Mitchell Lyons. Our assistant referees, Flynn Cope and Sam Stewart. And the referee for this afternoon's match, Charlie O'Brien. Thank you once again to all our match officials for their hard work. Now, it's always difficult to lose a final, especially when the stakes were so high today, but Westie can be proud of their effort. All right, it's the wind. We're blaming the wind today. Please welcome Bryson Cox, captain of Westie, to say a few words.
Just start off saying congrats to Val. These games are about moments and you can feel today. I think 4-0 maybe wasn't a reflection of how close to follow-up when you're out there. We give what we did and we pushed hard and we got caught in the counter-attack and that's what happens. Us boys just don't say play well to get here. From where we were in the middle of the season to where we are now, something good next year.
Thank you very much, Bryson. Now I'd like to invite Northern New South Wales Football Deputy Chair David Willoughby to help us present the player of the match. Now this medal is voted on by a panel of experts led by Northern New South Wales Football Technical Director Ryan Doig. The 2025 Promotion Relegation Playoff Final Player of the Match is from Valentine, Dean Pettit. Now, to present this afternoon's player medals, we have junior players from Valentine who will be coming up to present medals to their club today. Now, winning any sort of final is, of course, a significant achievement, and today is no exception, with Valentine ensuring its NPL survival for 2026. Before we present the medals, I'd like to invite the captain of Valentine, Scott Pettit, to say a few words.
First of all, I just want to send a commiseration to West Wallsend. You guys are definitely on the right track. I've got no doubt with how you guys performed today. I won't tell you a good time. How you guys performed today throughout the year, I'm sure you guys will be back in the NPL soon where you belong. So well done. Also, I'd like to say a big thanks to all of my players at Valentine. You guys obviously have been through so much adversity this year. To come out on top today is a credit to you guys and the resilience that you guys have shown throughout the year. So thank you.
All right, our junior mascots are ready to present the medals. So we'll start with number 1, Brody Balkin. Next, we have Harumi Akita. Now, maybe we need a big extra round of applause for someone who's not here, but we'll give his medal to the captain, number 15, Cooper Verstagen. #23, Cale Graham. Our player of the match this afternoon, Dean Pettit. Number 16, Campbell Ross.
Yes, Kyle! Yes, Kyle! Come on, Kyle! You're my favourite!
27, Cooper Fitchett.
Yes, Kyle! Go, Kyle! All over him, all game!
36, Isaac Perez. Number 88, Cooper Wilmot. Number 99, Kahani Yamakami. Number 9, Nicholas Martinelli. #17, Liam Ryan. #21, Max Hampton. Number 24, Shikarani Sunzu. Number 28, Zach McDougall. Number 30, Paige Godby. Number 69, Cooper Foss. And the winning captain, Scott Pettit. We'd also like to recognise the coach, Cass Bright. Congratulations, Cass. Supported by Stephen Goldberg, Nick Bailey, Chris Gazzard and Paul Wheeler. Thank you very much.
Harry Lane in the middle. Give it to Harry Lane. Give Harry Lane in the middle. Where's Harry Lane?
Of course, they'd be nowhere without this. Thank you very much, Cass. Now, as the coaches join their squad, I want you to get ready to celebrate with Valentine, your 2025 Northern New South Wales Promotion Relegation Playoff Finals champion. We will lift the trophy, Scott. Go and celebrate with your team. Congratulations to Valentine. Congratulations to Valentine and well done to Wallsend, and thank you everyone for coming out.
Have